made $186 million in 1996 off of home video. That is wild.
I mean, you saw it just now. It was good.
It was good. Imagine what would happen if it was actually released in theaters at a higher quality, because it wasn't good animation.
Yeah.
It was like...
I mean, it's very obviously like, you know,
it was
home video animation.
Well, I looked it up. It was like the Japanese studio for Disney and the Australian one splitting it. I think that's what it said.
Interesting. I did not like Jasmine's pink outfit.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a bubblegum pink, and I feel like it should have been more, you know, like magenta, fuchsia.
Red.
You know, if they're going to go pink route.
Yeah, like a fuchsia. She's more of a fuchsia.
Yeah, she needs those bold, vibrant colors.
She also looked like a Power Ranger when she was getting married to me.
She's getting married to you?
No. She's getting married to Aladdin.
Yeah, you said when she's getting married to me.
No, it was a dangling modifier, I guess, or something like that. To me, when she was getting married, she looked like a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And on that note, the champagne's
the White
popped.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
The champagne's been popped. The wine, it's a flowing. You know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I'm tour guide Captain Zach, so we always his beans.
Or Jana.
You mentioned you did that even though you're in such pain.
Yeah. What?
Jana's dealing with...
severe back pain right now.
Are you okay?
So no more champagne for me. I think that was the culprit last night.
She's paying for it dearly today.
Yes. Hashimoto's and alcohol do not mix.
But rum and Coke do.
I can't do that.
Is that what you think drums sound like?
I don't know.
What are we talking about today?
So we are continuing our treasure series.
We call it the Treasured series.
We treasured our time on the treasure.
No one calls it that.
No. So this is part 3 in our series of a 4-part series talking about our recent cruise on the treasure. So we have already done part 1, which was food, and part 2, which was the bars and lounges. And now we are moving on to the entertainment on board.
Of the bars and lounges.
No. So Disney cruises are kind of known for the entertainment that they offer.
Is that what they're known for?
And one of the things that they're known for, like they do like Broadway style productions and shows. And on the treasure, those shows are Seize the Day, which every Disney cruise pretty much has that show.
Oh, that's the opener one we saw.
Yeah, the first night. Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. And then there was also... we didn't see this one. Beauty and the Beast. But it was based on the live action movie, not the animated version. And then there was Moana, which is the one that was kind of like the big deal for this ship. So like every time that there's a cruise, there is going to be one main show that is they just like kind of put all their...
They half-ass one and whole-ass another.
No, I mean, it's like the one that's going to be exclusive to that ship. You will never see it on another ship.
Oh, my goodness.
So that was Moana for this one. And we did not go to the Beauty and the Beast one because, again, it was based on live action. And I do not like the live action movie. So
shots fired.
Like, I don't think I'm going to like the live action version of this play. Plus, I didn't care for the times that it was showing.
Yeah, there's wasn't it during, what was it during?
So with the two other shows, so like Seize the Day and Beauty and the Beast, not Moana, they only do 2 show times on the days that they are showing them. And so there's going to be a showing that works out for the second dining time, the 8:15 group, and then showing that works out for the earlier dining, the 5:45 group. So essentially, like while they're getting ready or heading off to dinner, you're in the show if you're in the you're watching the show if you're in the 8:15 group, and you know while the 8:15 group is like going off to dinner, that's when the show would be.
There's only 2 showings of that one.
Yes.
And that one for Moana also?
No. Seize the Day and Beauty and the Beast only had 2 showings
Oh,
each
so
day.
I was like,
Moana had like 4, I
I
think.
was gonna say, like, how
'Cause
is
that was,
everyone
like, the
even able
premiere
to see
show.
it? Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like a massive theater. It's a big theater, but it's not
Yeah,
like
it is the
massive.
biggest theater that's on the ship. And I know for the Moana one, we saw the first showing for that one and it filled up.
packed.
It was packed.
The line was insane.
Yeah,
we got there
people were-
super early though.
Yeah, people were waiting there like 45 minutes ahead of time.
us.
Yeah.
We were next to the concession stand, like
Yeah.
right there. So
I thought that they were good though. We did see Moana. I had to leave halfway through to go get my hair
you
done.
missed actually the best part, which is the end. It was actually really cool at the end, but like the rest of it, I was like, this is fine.
There were some interesting choices made.
Sure, we'll say that. The grandma was like the best part, actually.
Yeah, the grandma Tala was the best.
Like our kids were loving that. She was hilarious.
Yeah, well, she's hilarious in the movie.
I think Moana was fine. I think I had the biggest problem with Maui, actually. It just didn't seem very Maui-y.
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to find a real human being with that size and proportion.
Couldn't they just get The Rock to do it?
He was busy filming the live action version.
Yeah, he could have taken a trip
Yeah.
and like taken a break and just done it real quick.
Yeah. Now, Seize
They
the
also-
Day.
They also added a song, which kind of was like, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is not Lin-Manuel writing this.
It's more like those Moana 2 group
Yeah.
writing it.
Yeah, it was, I think overall it's fine. I'm not a shows person, so I don't really care that much about those. But like,
I love shows.
good thing you left halfway to not give you a full review.
Yeah. Now, Seize the Day. That one was a fun one. And it's like a Goofy gaining confidence in himself. I don't know.
It was
But-
Goofy being weird.
But they had a bunch of different characters in it, like Hercules and Merida and stuff. And they had a whole number for Tiana, like almost there with like her Tiana's Palace. And that
Yeah,
was
I
a
forgot
really
about this.
fun,
Yeah.
fun number that they did.
What was
I
like
like that a
Merida
lot.
did a number, she did a number, and then it was, who was the third princess?
Mulan.
Yeah, it was Mulan.
Hmm.
And then they had like Hercules do a number. They had, it was just a
Yeah.
bunch. Like just kept throwing people in there. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. And that was on the first day. So like
Yeah.
the first night of the cruise. And what kind of bothered me about how they did the other 2 shows is that they did those on port days, I believe. Like Moana was definitely on the port day. It was on Castaway Cay Day, which was like the last day on ship.
Oh yeah, we kind of plan around that.
And I feel like when you have a cruise where there is like 2 days at sea, like ours, why wouldn't you do the shows on those days? You know,
Yeah,
when
it's
people
like
don't have
just
much
plan
going
it
on.
accordingly. Like, hey, everyone, there's not gonna be as much to do.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be looking for something to do. Do these then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like maybe you should have like a thing on your app be like book a seat instead of just like a long line.
I don't know. Well, then, it might be difficult. I don't know.
Like it's I know people would just like book it just because like yeah, and then they won't go.
Yeah.
But like, it just seems like so. I don't know. I'm not used to like having to like wait in lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, because like movie theaters, we got to the
Movie theaters are all in the assigned
We went to a
seating
movie
now.
today and we were 20 minutes late and we still had to sit through previews. And it's like but we weren't worried about it wasn't like a sellout or anything like that. But we
Yeah.
don't have to like wait in line and like try to get a good seat or something like that. It doesn't happen anymore.
Right, because you book it ahead on your phone or computer
Yeah.
and you choose your seat. And
I mean, something like that would have been like a little bit better for this.
yeah,
But-
but again, like you said, people might not show up. Or people might be like, oh, well, I can show up like 15 minutes late and be disruptive to other people,
Yeah.
so I think it's better that it's a stand in line thing.
What do you want to touch on next as far as entertainment?
Well, so they also have other live shows too. We saw a magician there who actually, right after the sailing, went on America's Got Talent, and he's progressing to the next level, whatever that means. I don't watch
Ooh.
that show,
Yeah, I don't really know how that
so
works.
yeah, I don't know how it works either. But
It's kind of hard to show like
his name was Zach.
some of it was
something.
like close up magic, and it's not easy to show that in a show like that. So
Yeah, I mean, and they had like screens where they were
Yeah.
projecting it onto, but with close up magic, I feel like
it's like
you
It's like
just
a
think like, oh,
more
well, it's
street performance.
pre-recorded, or
well, for
something.
like usually like a street performance almost for it to like be more effective because it's like I couldn't see what was going on sometimes. So
Yep.
but I mean, it was good. Our kids liked it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was fun. And there were a lot of other live shows too that we did not attend. I mean, I don't think that there's any way that you could be on the ship and do everything it has to offer.
Yeah, it would be really hard. There was bingo that we never went to.
We always intended to, never went.
We went to the DVC like presentations just because.
Yeah.
The first one was actually pretty fun because we got like free drinks. They gave us like mimosas, and then you actually got picked to do the quiz show thing.
Yeah, I got to be a team captain. That was fun.
But like, and there's trivia happening all over at like multiple times a day.
Yeah, and some of the trivia is 18 and up only.
Which made no sense why it was.
Yeah,
actually.
because the ones that were that like we went to that was 18 up was like 80s music trivia and 90s music trivia, so I don't really understand why they would do that. Maybe because it was in the Triton Lounge, which was a pretty tiny space.
Well, also for those, they should have gotten a bigger space.
Yeah.
That was like a big complaint of mine because I was like, this is like wall to wall, like packed in here because people love
like standing
music
room
trivia
only.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And the prize is just like
well, it's also like one of those things that's like multi-generational.
Yeah. It's like there was like big teams, small teams, but like there were all families. And like we did the 80s and then the 90s.
We won the 80s one, but only because we had my friend Tracy.
I was like, the 90s, I was just like, I don't like, if it's not grunge, I'm like, I'm not going to know these. And they played the only grunge song they played was like Nirvana.
So what they would do is they would play like the first like 3 seconds of a song.
Sometimes they play too much and I'm like, stop playing it. We already know what it is.
Yeah.
We already know this is Chumbawamba Tub Thumping. Stop it.
Right. And like Wannabe by Spice Girls. It's like
stop.
It's just like when it goes like, yo, it's like, that's all you need to play.
You get like a little plastic, rubbery, like metal.
Yeah. They're highly sought after.
Okay. But, and then they had like, in the Skipper Cantina, they would do like.
Yeah. Like, Skipper Canteen is where, not Skipper Canteen.
Skipper Society.
Skipper Society is where they would have most of the family trivia.
And it was like we did a Disney food, which
we thought that was going to be like parks food, and we're just like, what is this even going to be? But it was like food from movies. Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
It was also park stuff.
Yeah, it was a mix.
I think there was like a churro question maybe, but there was also like, is Dole Whip only sold in,
like Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom is that the only place you can get it? We're like, no, true or false? So like, you can get that at Polly and you get that at
Disney
somewhere
Springs
else,
and Animal Kingdom.
And then there's also like Muppets trivia we did okay on that one. Got 17 out of 20.
Yeah, nobody got all 20.
They were some very tough ones.
Yeah. You'd have to be deep into the Muppets to get some of that.
We love trivia, so it's like whenever there's trivia happening, we just kind of pop in.
Skipper Society also had a lot of arts and crafts, family time kind of stuff, which was another entertainment option that was great, especially since our kids did not want to go to the kid club. It gave us stuff to do with them. That was not the pool.
And the kids club was awesome, but they hated it.
Yeah, so that's another one I want to touch on is the kids club. So when you do your check-in for your cruise, you can go ahead and sign them up for the kids club, or you can do it once you get on board, but I'd suggest doing it during your check-in process. Just makes it easier. And you'll choose a secret word for like when you come to pick them up. You have to tell the cast member that secret word.
Should have said ours like farts or something.
Yeah, they chose
butt soup.
They chose banana because of the Minions. It'd be like banana. And the kids club has like different sections. It's got like a little Marvel room, a Star Wars room, like a Belle's library room, a little Rapunzel area, a little Frozen area.
It's like a make your own roller coaster thing.
Yeah. It was really cool. I would have liked playing in there.
The Marvel room was kind of lacking, but the Star Wars room was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like a little slice of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
It had
was
like a
really,
cat
really
breathing
cool.
And like some other creatures around
It had like a porg with some eggs.
Chewie was in there one time.
Yeah.
Taking pictures.
So when they do meet and greets for Star Wars or Marvel characters, they will do them specifically in that room. And what they do is they will close the kids club. So these rooms open to the outside, but they keep them closed and locked while the kids club is going on. But if there is a meet and greet happening, so when there is like a Rey and Chewie meet and greet, they would do that in the Star Wars section, but then have the door that opens to the rest of the kids club closed and locked. Yeah, but the door to the outside was
adults
open.
Adults are not allowed in these places usually unless it's open house.
So they do.
Which is good because I was like, I don't want any randos around my kids.
Right. So they do open house like pretty much
it's like the first
most
day.
of the time on the first day, and then like during the morning every once in a while for the rest of the cruise. And that's the only time that adults that are not cast members assigned to the kids club are allowed in there. And the kids club is completely free to use, and there's like no time limit on it. It actually stays open until midnight.
Oh, wow.
I found out. Yeah, I feel bad for those kids. But
I mean, if you're having a good time, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
We made the mistake of we sent them one day because we thought this would be cool. It was like a learning about Star Wars creatures thing, and that was like our first foray into getting them into it because they were very apprehensive.
Yeah, they've got some separation anxiety issues.
So they get in there and like we leave them like for like 30 minutes and we go down there and we're staying next to the Star Wars room and we hear like screams and crazy noises and we're like, what is happening in there? Ronan comes out in tears and Olivia's behind him and we're just like, what happened? They're like, they did like this simulation where like the animals they were learning about, like one of them got loose and like it was like a Raktar, I think, and like it was just like it scared the crap out of him.
It was too much for him.
I think after that they were like, we don't like
apprehensive, very apprehensive. But okay, going back to the just kids club basics. You can there's a main entrance that you can drop them off into, and they have to have a magic band. Plus, they scan that and make sure they're all checked in appropriately, and then they can go in, and there's a place for them to wash their hands as soon as they go in and before they leave. And it is the coolest little washing station. Like, I don't know. It's so you stick your hands in and water and soap just like spray all over your hands and swirls around, and I don't know. It was fun. It was cool.
Side note that you don't need a magic band. They'll assign you one and they'll put like a $25 charge on you. But then once you leave and give it back, they'll take that off. But like you don't have to, it has to use one of the new magic bands.
Because it tracks them.
They have to be charged.
Yeah. It has to be charged because they are tracking them.
Yeah. Once you get into like what happened though, like...
Well, so the other option for getting in is on the level above the kids club. There's a slide that goes down directly into the kids club. So you can check them in up top and then they just slide down. And they did like that part.
Yeah, but I think it stops there.
Yeah. There is also the Small World Nursery. So I guess backing up a little. So this was the Oceaneers Club that they were in. And that is for ages, I think, 3 to 10. And if you have a kid below, and they have to be potty trained and they have to be able to wipe themselves. Those are like some of the rules for bringing them there.
Solid.
If you have a kid below the age of 3, they can go to the Small World Nursery. However, you have to pay for the Small World Nursery and it is a 2-hour limit.
And then after you leave the 10-year-old thing, there's actually like a tweens kind of club. And then there's one that's even like a teenager club too.
So there are 2 other clubs called Vibe and Edge. One is for tweens. I think it's like ages like 10 to 14.
10 to 14, I think.
And then the other one is like ages like 14 to 17.
Yeah. They look fun.
Yeah. They all seemed like really fun.
Yeah. So.
All right. But yeah, our problem with the kids club, and this is kind of a big problem in my opinion. We wanted to go do the 90s music trivia one night, which again was adults only. So we got them to agree that, we can drop you off. We will pick you up in an hour.
And it's like a 30-minute window of like we can get them in there, do it, and then actually immediately kind of go to like dinner afterwards because our dinner was like right after.
Yeah, so trivia started at 7. So we knew dinner's at 8:15.
We're like, guys, you're really not going to be here longer than like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 45 minutes. They're like, okay.
Yeah, so we got them to agree to that. And so we go up to the, 90s trivia, having a good time. And so the way that the kids club works is when they are ready to go, they can tell you, they'll go tell a cast member, I want to leave. The cast member will send you a message on your phone through the Disney Cruise Line app that says, hey, Ronan's ready to be picked up, or whatnot. And anytime that's happened, we immediately get the message. We go down there and we get them, and it's been all good. This time, though, we are checking our phone the whole time to make sure that they're okay, that they're not messaging us and everything. And you'll have to tell the rest because, like, after the trivia was done at 8, I was like, I need to go get ready for dinner. So I went straight to the room, and you're like, I'll go get the kids.
So it was a little bit weird to check them in because I think something was going on with their computers. So I was like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. when I got
Well,
there,
because they said that they were checked in fine.
so when we got there, I was in line with a bunch of other parents, and I was like, "What is happening? Why is it going so slowly?" And it's because their system was down, and they had to like check people out by hand. And when I finally get up there, I'm like, I'm checking out my kids, Ronan and Olivia, and they're like, "Do you mean just Ronan?" And I'm like, "No,
just Olivia.
Or
They
I was
didn't-
just like, just Olivia. I'm like, "No, Ronan's in here too." And like, they really freaked me out because I'm like, if my kid's not in there, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
And like, he comes out in like tears, and she's on the verge of tears, and I'm just like, what's going on there? Like, we told them like 3 or 4 times that we wanted to go, and we never got any messages. Nothing on our phone, and never ever came in.
Right. And like I said, I had gone directly to our room so I could get dressed and everything for dinner. And there were no calls to our room. There were no messages in our room either. So it's like you have these 2 kids, one who's clearly upset that they want to leave, and they're telling you that they want to leave, and you think you're sending messages, but the parents are never coming. Why aren't you calling the stateroom to see, asking the kids like, hey, do you know where mommy and daddy might be? Because they knew where we were going to be. Like,
I also think they should have a fail-safe thing where it's just like,
you could do a shipwide page.
like give you a beeper, basically.
Yeah.
They should give you
Like
a
at a
pager.
restaurant.
Like if you're on the ship still, it's like if we were in a movie or something, we would have been there for like 2 hours plus.
With our kids like traumatized.
Not known our kids are being like so upset and just being alone. And we're like, because also when they were staying there, none of the stuff they wanted to do was working because all the systems were down.
Yeah.
Because they like this little roller coaster simulation thing, which wasn't working. So they're like, we have nothing to do, and we want to go home. We want to go be with our parents, and they couldn't reach out to us. So needless to say, we had a lot of complaints about that. I mean,
I complained hard both to the kids club and to guest services.
I mean, I don't know what they could do. They sent us like some stuffed animals that like they were asking you like, what do they like? And you're like, this one and this one. They sent them to our room.
Or they like to not be traumatized.
Yeah. I'm just like, it's nice that you try to send these, but I'm just like, this
damage is done psychologically.
Yeah.
Like, here we are right now. It has been 4 weeks since the cruise,
this
maybe
is
longer.
Core memory right here.
They like
for abandonment issues.
Ronan is still having issues with it, like with some abandonment issues, psychological stuff happening there.
Yeah.
And it took us like over a week once we got back home to get them to sleep in their own beds.
Yeah,
it's like, so I don't know, that just makes me so. If your system is down, why aren't you doing something about it when you have kids telling you that they want to leave and they are upset? Even if the system's not down, they should have been doing something about it.
It should have had like a fail-safe.
Send a cast member. Like they could have asked them, hey, do you know where your parents are? And they might not know. Oh, they're in Trine Lounge. They're in 90s trivia.
Yeah.
But they knew that we were going to adult only trivia. And it's like, you could tell the cast member, hey, they're an adult only trivia, and the cast member would be able to deduce,
look up,
where we are,
because there's only one going on at that point,
right? And so it's like you could send somebody to go get us. You could do a shipwide page.
Epic fails, because there was other upset kids. Like when I was like in line, I'd see kids in tears getting let out, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? Because I think a bunch of other kids were probably asking me like, I want to go home, and no one was getting their messages.
Yeah.
I got more messages from our laundry being done.
Right.
From like telling us that like, hey, you need to come to like number 6 to get your laundry and move it over.
Yeah. And like, I never got a message from them like once their system was restored either.
Neither of us did.
Yeah.
And neither did Tracy.
Yeah.
Because she was on the list too.
Yeah. I had Tracy on the list also, just, as like a complete backup in case, just for some reason something was happening with the two of us.
If they sent this 3 times and none of them went through, it's like, guys, you really need to get on this. Like, fix this.
Right. It's not acceptable in my opinion.
No, let's move on though.
I'm just gonna get all riled up.
Yeah, let's drag it. Let's drag it down a little more.
Yeah. Okay, but all right, moving on.
Movie theaters.
Yes, there were 2 movie theaters on the ship, Neverland Cinema and Wonderland Cinema.
More than 2. There's like 5 theaters. There's more than like, it wasn't just like 2 showings.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's actually like multiple ones, and they actually had a box office with like exclusive popcorn buckets and sippers.
Oh, I forgot to get the sipper.
They had like a Jawa that actually like made like noises, and they had like a lightsaber like sipper, And there's a few other ones that I can't remember what they were.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's moot.
Yeah.
They played the last day we were there. They actually showed Lilo and Stitch because it just came out. So they were playing current movies. They also played Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Snow White were the other ones playing.
Live action and Moana too.
And Moana too.
Mm-hmm.
And those would be playing in there. I got to see Thunderbolts, which was fine.
Yeah.
That was the only one I was like, I guess I'll see
I had
that.
the kids at the pool during that time.
I was like, I want to see something. And I was like, I'm not going to see Snow White. I guess I'll see Thunderbolts. And it was fine. It's nice little theaters. It was a nice little theater experience. So the best theater, though, is definitely the one outside in the pool. I think that was the one that was
it's
the
called
winner.
Funnel Vision.
They had like a giant theater outside when you're at the pool. You can get your food for lunch and stuff like that and just go sit and just like watch. And these are all old classic Disney ones. So they'd be playing Tarzan. They'd be playing Moana 1 or like these. And it's like on schedules and stuff. So that was usually the biggest hit.
Moving on to the pools since we're there right now with Funnel Vision.
We're in the pools, yeah.
I both loved and hated them.
They were tiny.
They were, okay, so
There's like 6 small pools.
on the ship before the Wish, they have like a bigger pool, you know, in like the center and stuff. But since the Wish, they have these tinier pools, and
you couldn't go swimming in these.
no, you could not go swimming. You can't do laps. You can't
You just kind of
jump
sit.
in.
You can soak. I think that's it.
Yeah, you can soak and splash around. I mean, you know, Ronan being small, like he enjoyed it. He could like doggy paddle places, but you know, you're not really, and they're all circular too.
No square pools.
But like I liked it because they did have one pool that was only, I think, 2 feet deep.
Yeah.
So
and even every one of them had a dedicated lifeguard, like just staring at you.
Yeah, like one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so they could stay in there alone and they'd be fine.
Right, because you know, again, Zach doesn't go in the water, and so it's on me to be in pools with them and everything. So whenever I was too tired or didn't have the energy for it, it's like, you guys can go into this pool and I know you're going to be safe because you can just stand up and be totally fine. And also, you know, of course there's a lifeguard right there. Then there's like another pool that was like 6 inches deep. So good for like babies and stuff. And then one that was about 4.5 feet. Maybe.
One of them would close pretty early though, because they would be getting ready for like a stage
show. They
show.
all closed early. Like most of them closed by 6 or 7 p.m. Which is kind of wild to me.
I think it was good for like just the movies, just like to chill in like some water and like watch something. Yeah, I think they liked that a lot. Like both of them did. They like the Aquamouse more, I think.
Oh yeah, the Aquamouse was fun, which is an attraction at sea. You're on a raft going through a water slide.
It's like the water slide that encompasses like the whole top area of the whole boat. So you're going around in a boat.
Yeah. And it's kind of like rafting, you know. You're not going to go like splash down into the pool. Like it's just in a circle, essentially. Like it's looping you in.
They did have a slide too.
And you go up a ramp, and so the ramp is inside a tunnel, and you've got like Mickey cartoons kind of telling a story as you go up and inside on each side. And you're getting kind of like sprayed with water randomly during that part. And then when you get to the top, you go down and you go through everything and you get absolutely soaked on the Aquamouse. I was not expecting that the first time we rode it because, you know, like really water slides you don't get that wet on.
Well, especially if you're in a tube.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, okay. But no, absolutely soaked. But it was so much fun. I loved it. And that does have a height requirement. I think it is
72 inches.
No, I think you have to be like 42, 44 inches to ride by yourself.
It had to be 44 because he's quite not there.
Yeah, he's over 42. Maybe it's 46 or 48 then.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably
because he wasn't close.
He's almost 44.
I'm probably 48. So
72.
Olivia could ride by herself. I had to ride with Ronan, and the height requirement for that I think is 32 or 36 inches to be able to ride it in general.
And then there's a regular like water slide to like one of the pools behind that too.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody should already know, but always sit with the heavier person in back.
Yeah.
If you're doing a double rider.
Let's go on to the character meet and greets. I guess you're gonna add that to this, right?
Yeah, I love the character meet
They
and
had
greets on the
tons
ship.
of them.
They had tons on them. You got like, I feel like a little bit more time with them than you would in the parks. You know,
Well, sometimes
a
they're
little
just
bit more-
walking around, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're like set up to like, hey, this is
Like
where
with a
Minnie's gonna be
photographer
with a
and-
photographer. But
Yeah.
sometimes we catch like
like
Smee
Captain Hook and
and
Smee.
Captain Hook were just chilling and walking around,
Yeah,
and like we were behind Stitch at one point, just walking around.
yeah.
So
And
like
you know, they'll stop and say hey and take pictures and everything.
Captain Jack Sparrow was walking around during Pirate Day.
He wasn't walking around
We caught him walking in from like the port. Remember?
on Castaway Cay Day.
Yeah, he was just walking
Castaway
in.
Cay. Yeah, because so that's the only time that you can do a meet and greet with Jack Sparrow is on Castaway Cay.
But he's there on Pirate Night though, isn't he? Doing
He's
something?
just doing the performance.
Okay.
He's not doing a meet and greet.
I wasn't sure what he's doing.
Yeah, we'll get to Pirate Night though. But
Pirate Night.
the meet and greets are amazing, and
Yeah,
you know they
Princess
have
won
like
the first day too.
a little more unique characters in my opinion. Like for instance, Genie.
Yeah, Genie was a weird one. I was like, whoa, I've never seen
You
Genie.
know,
Aladdin was actually there. Jasmine, like they had
yeah,
like a lot of the
and
couples.
they had Aladdin at one point in like his Prince Ali costume.
Yep.
That was really cool.
They had tons of different versions of Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Donald.
Oh yeah, every day
Like
they were
party
wearing something
versions.
different, and
Like
it was so
Evening
much
gown versions
fun.
of them.
And that's something that Olivia and I love is seeing like Minnie's outfits. You know,
Well, there was like that
and
crazy
Daisy's.
dance party that just broke out one day, where there's just like
Yeah.
all these characters and Minnie and Mickey.
You
were
say
just going-
just broke out. It's planned. It's in the
I know,
app.
but it just seemed like it just went crazy, and I was just like, "What is happening?" And everything went nuts.
Yeah, they were cutting rugs.
Yeah, they were. I was like, "Man, I'm impressed with some of their dance moves in those big ass outfits."
Oh, I know. It is impressive, especially those feet. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you have videos of it. You can post it.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sharing that. One thing too is they do this thing called the Royal Gathering on the ship.
Oh no!
And this is a very hard to get reservation, and it is by reservation only. And what it is on select days at select times, they will have 5 or 6 princesses out in the atrium that you do a meet and greet with. It's just like one after the other. And it
Tell
becomes
them who was there.
well, it becomes available at midnight 30 days before the sale date. No matter if you're a Pearl member, Silver, Platinum, Gold, first time sailing, 30 days before check-in for everyone at midnight, and it goes instantaneously. Like your computer is going to freeze up trying to get this reservation. I personally recommend doing it from your phone because I don't know, I've just had more luck that way than trying to do it at a desktop.
Tell them who was there.
So on our sailing, we had...
Mulan,
No, we didn't.
Jasmine,
No, stop. We had Jasmine, Moana,
Tiana.
Belle, Tiana, Rapunzel.
Are you sure Mulan wasn't there? I'm pretty sure it was.
Mulan was not there
All right.
for meet and greet. She was in the Seize the Day.
I don't know. I don't know who else was
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We saw Tiana constantly on
Yeah.
this.
She
on
had a
this
lot of
trip.
meet and greets.
Yeah,
I think Naveen
was
was there,
out there.
wasn't he? For one of them?
I don't recall.
I feel like I saw Naveen.
Maybe not one that we did though.
No. All right.
Yeah. But that is a great one to do if you can. I love getting that for my clients. It's always such a thrill to do.
It's just a rush.
It is a rush. It's a huge rush when it's like time and I get it, you know.
Now, are you going to count the Bibby Bobby Boutique?
I
Is
mean,
that part of that or no? Just know it's
that's an
there, I guess.
enchanting extra. Yeah, there's Bippity Boppity Boutique just like at the parks.
What else do
There's
you
a lot
want
of
to touch on for entertainment?
So there's the Hero Zone.
Oh, yeah, that was fine.
So that is essentially like a bouncy obstacle course that they put in one of the teen or tween clubs once or twice during the cruise. And
fine.
it was
Mine
like
was
a
way
15, 20 minute long because they only allow 2 people to go at a time.
It was
For
like a
safety
bouncy castle
reasons.
obstacle course that was just like, it was fine.
Yeah, the kids loved it. We let them do it once. They want to do it again. And I was just like, I'm not waiting in that line again.
Well, it's also in that area. There's like air hockey and
Yeah.
What else was in there?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was mainly air hockey, I think, and like maybe pool. I don't know.
No,
I don't remember.
no. It was close to like the adults only area.
It was like the teen club almost. like
Yeah.
that area. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the big, huge things about Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
Fireworks at sea.
Fireworks at sea.
They only do this on the Caribbean cruises. So the ones that...
Wild.
Yeah. Those are the only ones. And is part of Pirate Night.
Pirate Night.
Yeah. So if you are on a sailing that goes to Nassau, it's pretty much always going to be on the Nassau day. And ours was on the Jamaica day. I think that was Jamaica. Maybe. Yeah.
I think it was Jamaica day.
But anyways, whenever you get on board and you can look in the app and see like when Pirate Night is going to be.
And people went all out. They were all dressed up.
Oh yeah. There's a whole like variation of how much people dress up. Some people don't do anything. Other people like dress to the nines in pirate attire.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun.
They give everyone a bandana if you want to wear a bandana.
Yeah. Your steward will leave bandanas in your stateroom when they're turning it down for the night.
Yep.
So if you didn't bring anything, you at least have that.
There's like a special set menu for Pirate Night. And then,
not on all
right?
sailings.
Oh, ours was.
Yeah. Only so on sailings that are 4 nights or longer, they'll do a special Pirate Night menu. But on the shorter sailings, they will not.
And then there was a pirate show.
Yeah. So there's this whole like, it all takes place on the pool deck.
And we got up there and there's like a band playing like pirate themed music. So our kids were immediately like, this is too loud. I
wouldn't necessarily call it pirate themed music. Like they were playing like 80s and 70s rock.
Okay. I wasn't there long enough to know, because like after one song, our kids were like, it's too loud. And I'm like, all right. So I took them down to the room and you were still up there.
Yeah. I stayed for the whole show and it was a lot of fun. I could also see it being super fun, like having a drink out there and just hanging out and watching everything. But, I was there for content and the experience.
And then they end the show with the fireworks. And I was like, oh, I wonder if we can still see
Let's not forget, Captain Jack jumps down from the top of the funnel.
Whoa.
Onto the stage. Yeah. It was really cool.
I didn't see that. Well, but we got to see the fireworks front row from
it's just
our
a whole
room.
Performance, and theatrics and everything. And fireworks going off.
So we had a front row seat from where we were, because on our balcony, that's where the side they were doing them up. So I was like, me and Rona were like, oh, we get to see these anyways.
Okay, so. He is saying that, but they do tell you, if you have a veranda room, do not go out onto the veranda during the show and fireworks.
We were fine. I never heard that.
Yes, you did.
You know what? I didn't hear it.
Whatever. You're not supposed to. But I'd say, so our room was on the starboard side. They were being shot in the starboard direction. So I was on deck 11 where the pool is in the open view. And I think you actually had a better view of the fireworks than I did, because like the Aquamouse where it is and the deck above was blocking a lot of the view. So if you want a good view of the stage and everything, yes, be on deck 11 and you're going to get a great view of all that's happening there. Or if you want a good view of the fireworks, go to deck 12, deck 13, be on the starboard side.
This is also nothing like a Disney parks fireworks show.
No. But it's still fun.
It's still cool, but it's nothing compared to those. It's like
it's
what they can do.
It's going to be better than your hometown fireworks.
It probably confused a lot of fish. They were just like, what is happening?
No, they know the schedule.
No, they were like, oh, this is going to be good.
They get a heads up.
But yeah, it was cool. Definitely see that in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. So I don't know what they do on other cruises in place of that. I know, and for Alaska, they do like a frozen night and do like special stuff for that. I don't know what they're doing on any of the other ones though. But if you want the fireworks at sea, that's going to be on a Caribbean cruise with Disney.
What else you got on that list of stuff? Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. I did want to talk about one thing that bothered me though.
Tell me. People love it when you complain.
So, they have all of these activities and entertainment and events that are so wonderful and so much fun. And you probably hear about it and read about it and stuff. You're just like, I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss that. What drives me absolutely insane, you do not get the itinerary until you are on board. So you cannot pre-plan. So So like
So if you have like a day where you're going to venture out, you could miss a bunch of stuff.
you could, or like for instance, I was getting my hair done a lot, and I
Yes.
was going to Senses a couple times, and I
get your back ruined?
yeah, I had to get, pre-book those and everything. But it's hard to know, like, well, is this time going to conflict with something that I may want to do, And sure enough, one of them did. So I went to go change times and everything. And it's like, well, nothing else is available. Or, it's like 8 p.m. at night to get a massage,
Yeah.
So it just, that sucks. And I don't understand why they don't just release the itinerary ahead of time. I know it's unreasonable to say like, hey, 75, 90 days ahead of time, release this itinerary because, things will change and get shuffled around. But, at least like a week before the cruise, 2 weeks before the cruise, like once you check in, let me go on the app and actually see the schedule of events,
Yeah. I mean,
and then I can actually plan
you're a
stuff.
planner, so it's...
I'm very much a planner. And there were a lot of things that like I wanted to...
I feel like you would have wanted to see the Beauty and the Beast
select.
show still to just see it.
Yeah, I would have, but I didn't find out about it until like day of, like, an hour before one of the shows. And it's just like, also it was an hour and a half long show.
Oh, wow. That's
And
too
I know that you don't like shows. I know the kids will only tolerate so much, and Beauty and the Beast is definitely not like something they would tolerate.
long. Hey, side note. My favorite show was in the Haunted Mansion parlor.
Yeah.
It's a 45-minute show of amazing. If you like the Haunted Mansion, that's the best show.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
being
and I
in
guess
there.
that does fall under entertainment too. It's like the
Yeah,
different
I was
bars and
entertained. That was
lounges,
my favorite
but
place to go.
we already discussed all that.
I knew it was my favorite place to go, so
Yeah.
it did not disappoint.
Overall, the entertainment though was just great. I
Yeah,
mean, there
think
is
they had a
that
good time.
hiccup with the kids club, but
That's more than a hiccup.
it's more than a hiccup. I'm
It's
saying
like
it
a barf.
lightly. Definitely a lot better than our Holland America cruise for entertainment.
Oh, I don't think that had... Well, that wasn't like geared towards kids. This is a lot of like...
Even the adult entertainment wasn't really there.
Yeah. Well, I think like we were more likely to utilize this one because it's more of our speed anyways.
Yeah.
So
On that note too, there is adult only entertainment like
you make it sound like it's like strippers.
Disney After Dark. Yeah, so there is like a little more extreme adult only entertainment that's going to be later at night. Well, I mean, you think, okay, I'm saying extreme because it's Disney,
Oh, so it's like...
So I think if you were on like a Royal Caribbean or Carnival or Virgin cruise, it would be the level you'd expect. But since it's Disney, I'm saying it's extreme,
All right.
But yeah, so they do have that. They do have their adult only areas. They do have adult only entertainment. We focused more on the family centric stuff that we could do, but with the kids. But yeah, there is that all still available. So don't think it's just family oriented entertainment is the only option.
This ain't your grandma's cruise.
I feel like that's probably Virgin Atlantic's tagline.
Whatever happens at Disney Cruise stays on Disney Cruise.
Yep.
Final thoughts?
It was good.
I'll tell you where you can find us.
It was good entertainment. Well, if you'd like to book your own Disney cruise, vacation, or whatnot, please reach out to me, Jana at castleboundtravelco.com, or on my Instagram at castlebound_Jana. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on
Share.
and share at Backlot Tours.
Sharing is caring.
Leave us a review on, Spotify or Apple, where you can find us for streaming, as well as YouTube.
And that YouTube, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, take us home, Beans.
All right. There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day.